So today we're going to go over some real estate investing questions that I sent out to my Roundup family, right? We're going to talk about subject to, lease options, owner finance, hard money, private money, a lot of that stuff right now, right? So we're going to go over about 10 or 11 questions that I sent out to you, and we're going to go over the answers. So you'll see what your answers were because it'll be in the poll, and then I'll share with you what the right answer is. You're going to be shocked at some of the answers to these questions. So what we're doing is we're sending out questions every day. So in the future, I will answer the questions at night. But we got backed up with the thousands of responses that we got. So I want to make sure you get that right answer so you can move forward in your real estate investing career. All right, let's do this together. Greetings, class. It's Chris Haskins with the realestateroundup.com. My mission and ministry is to raise your financial literacy through real estate investing and entrepreneurship. In doing that, we're starting the question of the day. Today, we're going to go over several of them, but you will get a question from me every day, right? That is my new goal, one of my new tasks. So the question will come out in the day, video at night times. But today, we're going to go over a bunch of them so you'll know exactly how savvy you are, what you need to do to get better as an investor, where do you stand, right? When I was coming up through the ranks, I wanted to know where did I stand as an investor? And I'd take different tests. That way, if I would get the answer wrong, I would know, listen, it's time for me. It would give me the enthusiasm and the drive to get out there and learn more, to push myself to become a better real estate investor, right? So let's go over the first question here. When you're negotiating a subject to deal, this is the first question. When you're negotiating a subject to deal with your seller, it's best to A, always use the word subject to so they understand. We've got 8% on that. B, never use the word subject to with your seller. B, the answer is B, right? That is our answer. C, go over all the documents with them so that when they sign your contract, 62%, y'all. C, 62% of them of y'all answered that. And D, don't tell them what you're really going to be doing until closing, 1%. Roundup, y'all let me down. I got to tell you what, y'all let me down on this one. I need to push y'all. Listen, the answer is B. When you're negotiating with a homeowner to take over the payments subject to the existing financing, you never use the words subject to. It is irrelevant. Your homeowner doesn't even know what subject to is. And if you use those words, then you're going to be opening up a can of worms. They're going to ask all type of questions. You don't want to have that. But look here, that's not what concerns me the most. 62% of y'all answered go over all the documents when you sign your contract. No, the only document that we need to go over when we get our homeowner under contract to do a subject to deal is going to be the purchase and sales agreement, right? The purchase and sales agreement and the authorization to release information doc. That's it. This is going to outline all the terms. This right here will allow you to speak to the bank on the borrower's behalf. That's all you need when you're negotiating a subject to deal. All the other documents, the cover yourself letter, the addendums, the power of attorney, all that stuff, that gets signed at closing. I've had clients around the country. Chris, I got the seller to sign all the documents. I'm like, what do you mean they signed all the documents? No, you do not want them signing those documents in front of you. They need to sign them in front of the attorney and the title company at closing. So you're not on the hook trying to explain all this stuff. Can you imagine what the attorney or judge would say if you sat down and you coerced a seller to sign all those docs? That's one-sided. That's one-sided. That's why we have someone else explain the documents to them so you stay out of harm's way. Hey, I didn't explain it to him. Look, the title company, the attorney did that. So y'all talk to them. I just gave them the docs, right? So if you want to know exactly how to go over these documents, that video is right here. So throughout this video, we're going to go over the questions, and then I'm going to give you some links that are going to help you to better understand some of these strategies, okay? All right, let's move on. Okay, number 2. If you're hiring a new contractor to do work for you for the first time that you do not know, you should. The answer is going to be E, both B and C. Try to get him to start with as little deposit as possible. C, get some referrals from other people he's worked for. So if you start with a little down payment. Why do we want him to start with a little down payment? Because one, That shows us that this contractor has liquid. He has liquid. He has his own money to get started. I don't want to deal with broke people. I'm tired of it. I'm done. I don't want to work with broke people, because what happens if a contractor, if you get him a large down payment to get started, what he's going to do is use your money to finish the last job. And then when he comes to the end of your job, he's going to try to get a down payment from somebody else. So he's going to be robbing Peter to pay Paul. It's going to be a juggling act, right? So you don't want to do that. Get him as little down as possible. And if he needs it all or a big down payment to get started, you can move on. Huh? You're not my boy. You're not my guy. Get referrals. Even if he doesn't have, because these guys may not be the sharpest dudes to get written referrals, right? But he can at least give you some pictures of other jobs that he's on. And you can ask, listen, would you mind if I visit you at one of your construction sites to see what type of work that you're doing right now? How do you keep the construction site? Is it clean? Is it messy? Is it 2x4s everywhere? Is it dust, sheetrock cut up? Is there a dumpster out there overflowing onto the ground? How is the site? So get some referrals before you hire these guys, all right? You'll be glad you did. And if you want to see more on about hiring contractors and estimating repairs, it's going to be a video for you right here too. Okay, number 3. When you sell a house using seller financing, the deed blank. The answer is C. Gets transferred to the buyer's name. Roundup, y'all let me down. Oh man, you're letting me down. But I know you got some growing to do. That's why I do these videos. I love you, right? The answer is C. It goes in the buyer's name. Now we had a lot of comments back and forth on this from different perspectives, and I'm enjoying that. I love to see you comment on this, but a lot of people thought it was D, held in escrow until the buyer makes all payments. Hey, see, here's the thing. Owner of record, who's on the title? When you go down there to the courthouse to see, listen, Kris Haskins or my trust is on title, bam. That means I'm the owner. I'm writing it off, right? If it's held in escrow, by default, if you're not on title, if somebody goes to do a title search and they don't see your name on it, you ain't the owner, right? You ain't the owner. So let's just say if I did a seller financing deal and I kept the deed in escrow. Now keeping the deed in escrow means that the title company will hold all the documents. They won't go to the courthouse and record them until all the payments are in. Generally speaking, that's called a contract for deed, or we'll do something called a land contract. But seller financing doesn't work like that. So by default, if the deed is held in escrow, it's not seller financing. It's going to be a land contract or contract for deed. So 47% of y'all got that one wrong. And B gets recorded in our name and the buyer's name. A stays in our name. Seller financing. The seller financing is just like getting a bank loan. You're getting a new deed in the buyer's name, okay? It goes in the buyer's name. So don't forget that. Seller financing, new deed, goes in buyer's name. So if you do a seller financing deed and you don't transfer that title and the seller gets $1 million IRS lien against him and a judgment, that's going on title. What's going to happen to your buyer? You're going to be in trouble, right? So transfer that deed, seller financing, right? You'll be safe. Okay, number 4, moving right along. When selling a house on lease option, the lease portion of the contract grants the new tenant buyer which right? The lease portion, okay? Remember, there's 2 different distinct moves on a lease option. The answer is B, possession and quiet enjoyment. Oh, my roundup, y'all hurting me on this one. You're hurting me. 68% of y'all let me down. I didn't get this one right. You answered it as D, the option to buy the house. Now remember, lease options are broken down into 2 parts. 2 parts. I'm going to give you a link to a video to explain it all the way in a minute, right? So possession and quiet enjoyment is the answer. Quiet enjoyment. What is quiet enjoyment, Kris? Well, it's the right of an owner or any other person legally entitled to possession to the use of the property without interference. It is the unobstructable right to come and go in and out of your front door, hang out in your backyard, go on your deck, park the car in the driveway without anybody bothering you. That is the lease portion. The lease. So sometimes an owner can grant away those rights. He can grant those rights to somebody else, which is what we do with rental property. I can't go to my rental property and just go in the front door. I tried that before and they called the cops on me, right? That's another story. So that's the lease portion of your lease option. And then the option is the disposition. That's how the property is disposed of. So if you want to know exactly step by step how to put those together and all the documents and all that stuff, the link to that video is right there. So I'm trying to train you all these questions so you won't be going around thinking, D, the lease portion is the option, right? The option we should put here, the option to buy the house. This is the terms on how you're going to buy the property. It has nothing to do with the lease. Round up. Y'all heard me on that one. Okay, number five. When we're buying a house subject to the seller, C allows us to take over their mortgage payments. Round up, you made me happy. 86% of you, that means you're listening. We are doing our job. With subject to, all we're doing is stepping in and taking over the mortgage payments. That's it. Don't make it bigger than it is. You don't have to go out there and tell the lender anything. You don't have to have the seller doesn't have to talk to the lender. You don't have to tell them anything. Just keep making those payments, all right? You don't have to turn in your tax returns. They don't care about your credit. You don't even do an application to qualify for this loan, right? This is why my favorite way to buy a house is subject to the existing finances. So C, you did a good job, Roundup. You did a good job. So listen, if I'm providing any value to you, make sure you take a second to hit that subscribe button, y'all. I'm pouring into you. Like that content if it's something that you do like, and share with any other investors that you think need to take these questions of the day so they can see how savvy or how much they need to grow as an investor, all right? Number 6, when selling on a lease option, the biggest determining factor when selecting a tenant buyer is C, how much down payment do they have? Roundup, you did okay on this one, 59%. I'm still a little nervous. Rental history, 21%. Referrals, maybe. How long they've been on their job? Nah. Here's the thing, Roundup. Let's say, for instance, if I've done this before. Somebody giving me a $25,000 deposit, right? At the end of the day, my thing is, look, I don't care if you ever make another payment. To be honest with you, I've gotten 10 months of rent up front. So you can move in and never pay. I don't even care, right? Now I'm taking it to an extreme, right? But I want you to see the picture. I want you to get the 40,000 foot view of this. Even if you get a bad apple, Roundup, and they're moving in, giving you $10, $20, $30,000 down, let them move in. You can get them out later. You still got that down payment. You're ahead. I always try to be ahead in the deal. Never let your tenant get ahead of the money. You be ahead, okay? So if they give, man, it was like yesterday, the lady wired me 25 grand. She stayed for a year and a half and just moved. Stopped paying rent. So I'm like, well, okay, I'm still all to the good, because if I miss 3, let's say my rent's $1,000 a month, or even $1,500. You get 25,000 down. I don't care where you coming from. You're good, right? So see, how much of down payment do they have? What do they have? How much have they put it down? Now, if they have a small down payment, I might be a little more skeptical on letting them move in based on their rental history. I want to look at rental history and previous landlords and all that stuff. But down payment, that's my main thing, all right? Down payment, we waive all that stuff. I get amnesia. I don't want to see nothing. You got a down payment, let's roll. Okay, number 7, moving along. When a seller is ready to do business with us and sell us their house, there are certain words we never use with homeowners. How do we ask them to sign our purchase and sales agreement? Number 7. The answer is F. I'm happy, y'all. You got 70% of y'all got this right. F is going to be both A and C. We're ready for you to okay the agreement. And C, we're ready for you to authorize the paperwork. Looks like we only got 9 of you. What is this? 70% got it right, but still some of you picked one. So I'm happy. 70%, I'm happy with that. Let's do, well, 70 plus the other 2. Let's see, 70, 80, more like 80, 90, more like 90% got it right. Cause some of you picked one out of the 2. Okay. I'm good with that. So congratulations. I got to give you a clap for this one. Congratulations, y'all. I'm happy for you. So the words we never use. We never use the words contract with the seller, and we never use the word sign. You never want to say, hey, come sign this, because if your signature, come sign something, that could give, you never know what bad experiences or what emotional situation a person or a seller could be in or could have been in their lifetime from signing something. And possibly could they have a bad contract with their cell phone or internet provider or some loan that they got into that they just, oh man, contract. Oh, I don't want to do business with him. that daggone Chris, I can't sign no contracts. It's okay for me. I can okay the paperwork, or I can authorize some of the agreement, right? I'm good with that, but I ain't signing no contract, right? Never use the word sign, neither the word contract, okay? So just take those two words, put them out, I always say, put it down in your pinky toe, get rid of it, forget about it, right? Yes, moving on. Number 8, when wholesaling houses, what's the most important thing to get from your end cash buyer? The answer, letter B, a non-refundable deposit. Non-refundable deposit. 64, you guys? Okay, we're right on the edge there. We can do a little better than this, round up. We can do a little better than this. Some of you thought it was D, proof of funds. Credit score, 1% credit score, and phone number and address. I don't even care about you. Listen, if you give me a large enough non-refundable deposit / credit, the reason I put credit here is because some judge may think that the word deposit, they might get it back, right? Non-refundable, not going to get it. So I'll put non-refundable credit on here. I remember one time I had a guy give me $2,000. I was wholesaling a deal, gave me $2,000 non-refundable, and he could not buy the deal, couldn't close on it. He forfeited that $2,000. I don't even care if they close or not. Now I want my end cash buyer to close on this thing. I want them to, but if they don't, that's an additional say I'm getting an $8,000 assignment fee and he couldn't close. That's another $2,000 I'm getting, and I can go resell that same contract for $8,000, right? So you're gonna make more money if they don't close. So let me tell you about proof of funds. I don't care if you got proof. I don't care if you got the funds or not. If you give me $2,000-$3,000 down, man, that's on you. That's why it is imperative, Roundup. You better, I got to do one in my hand, smacks on this. You better get a non-refundable down payment from your cash buyers, because once they give you that non-refundable, it's on them. Like, I'm good. Your money's. I mean, whether you close or not, I'm keeping that. You're done with that. So, proof of funds, secondary, credit. I don't care about credit. It's irrelevant to me. Your phone number, you ain't got to call me. You can call me when it's closing time. That's the only thing I need to talk to you about. Okay. Number 9, you are doing a good job. You're doing a good job. You're hanging in there. Number 9, when you borrow hard money to flip a house, the lender's main concern is generally A, the value of the asset. The value of the asset. Now, some of you guys, first of all, I want to say you did a good job. 71% of that. You guys got that right. But C, why would you say, well, let me make sure I understand what you're saying. C, will you be able to pay it back over time? 22% of you said that. Now I want to understand, why would you say that, right? Why would you say that? So what we did was we put a video here right there. You can go, the difference between private money and hard money. Go learn all about that. You got to learn that stuff. This video is not to explain and break it all down. This video is to do the question of the day. But will you pay it back over time? Let me tell you. The hard money lender cares not whether you pay it back over time, right? Because if you don't pay it back at the time that they agree to loan you the money, the terms, they're going to take the house back. They're going to foreclose on you, right? I got a guy now just hired me to help him figure out how he's going to get out of a bind with a foreclosure. The value of the asset. They want to make sure that if the house is worth 150, you're only borrowing like 95 to 100, 110 maybe, right? 70% of what that is. What is the value of that asset? What is it worth? If we have to take it back, if the hard money lender has to take it back, what can they get for it? What can they sell it for on the open market, right? They don't care about your credit, tax return, none of that stuff, right? What is the house worth? Because they're loaning you money based on the value of that house. That's it. Okay, number 10, we're almost there. Make sure you stay tuned, because I'm going to give you a bonus question, right? When we get a house under contract and we'll be wholesaling it to an end buyer, we collect our check by blank. This one had 463 votes. The answer is E, all of the above. Using a contract assignment addendum, that's where you get the house under contract, then you sell your contract, right? That's a simple one. That's actually the cleanest way to do it. Well, I don't want to say clean. That's the most simple way, right? B, perform a double closing. That's where we get a house under contract and we buy it, then resell it, right? We're doing a double closing there. We do that the same day. C, we assign the beneficial interest in our trust to the end buyer. That's where we have a house under contract and we sell the interest in this contract. We sell the interest in the trust, right? So we're not even selling the contract. We're just selling the interest in the buyer's agreement with the seller, right? So you're not even, that is an advanced strategy, y'all. It's an advanced strategy. It's almost like selling your interest in an LLC. So you don't even change the name on the contract. The name stays the same. You're not even assigning the contract. You're signing the interest of the buyer, right? That's crazy. So you did a good job on this one, Roundup. 56 could be a little better, but I mean, you answered it 21% A, 9% B, 5% C. So we're at like 90%, which, you know what? I can't be mad at you. I can't be mad at you. But if you look at some of these answers, it's going to tell you how savvy you are. If you didn't answer all of the above, you may not know some of these strategies, which means we got to go out and get learning. So I put a video here for you to understand land trusts. Get over there. You got to know how these trusts work. Okay, you're staying to the end, Roundup. I'm excited for you. Thank you. Thank you for letting me pour as we pass 75,000 subscribers. It's an honor. It's an honor, y'all. Okay, number 11, when buying a house at the foreclosure auction at the courthouse, what name do we make our certified funds check payable to for the earnest money deposit or down payment, right? A lot of you thought it was the foreclosing trustee, but no, the answer is D, yourself. Here's the thing, you don't know what foreclosing trustee is going to show up at the steps, right? It could be 15, 20 different trustees at any given time, right? You don't know because you might be bidding on 5 or 6 houses. So if you make the the down payment or the earnest money certified funds out to yourself, you can then endorse it over to the foreclosing trustee. Now I'm a little concerned. 52% of you guys said the foreclosing trustee, which was A. B said that some of y'all thought it was the title company. So to be honest with you, 6% got this one right. Man, Roundup. We got to do better, y'all. We got to do better. Because if you make it out to the foreclosing trustee, say it's, I don't know, Smith, attorney at law, and you lose the bid. Say tomorrow you want to come back. Now it's Johnson, attorney at law. You want to go back to the auction. You don't want to have to go back to the bank, get a new certified funds check, make it out to the new trustee. You got to pay the fee, all that stuff, driving around. It's just wasting time. So if you simply make it out to yourself, then you can go down there every time. Boom. All right, did I win? All right, sign it over. Boom. 10,000. All right, signed over. All right. We got to do better. Okay, let's keep doing our studying on this one. Foreclosures is a challenging topic, you know. Matter of fact, what I will do, I'll put a link to another video right there. You'll see us going to the auction, as well as I have the foreclosure summit. We'll take you to that too. Okay, number 12, you made it to the end, Roundup. Since you listened to the end, what I'm going to do at the very end of this, I'm going to give you a code verbally, a code where you can go on my site and get a discount on everything. This discount will be good for the day, right? Just because you listened to the end. I'm going to give you a discount. Okay, so number 12, when negotiating with a homeowner in pre-foreclosure, that means their house is going to foreclosure, we mainly want them to know blank. The answer is C. We are there to help them however we can. You are there to help them however you can help them. Now, some of you thought it was, now let me see, 83%. All right, that's cool. You did a pretty good job on this one. As a matter of fact, you did a good job, Roundup. You're making me feel good on this one, that I'm doing my job. When you're approaching these people, a lot of times money is not the answer. We can buy their house cash. I can buy your house cash, Miss Smith. Come on, let's do this. I'm ready to buy it. Think about the state of mind for these people that are losing their house. First of all, they're emotional, they're sad, they're feeling like they're not enough. Oh man, I'm losing my house. A lot of times, their cell phone is behind, the power bill, water bill, gas, car note, all that stuff is all messed up too. And you're going to walk in there like, I'm a big bad investor, give you cash. You can't do that, Roundup. You can't do that. B, they should sell to try to get some money. 4% of you said that. A lot of times you can't go in there throwing money around. You can't. Miss Smith, you know, we're able to help a lot of people. I'm able to help a lot of people, right? Usually 1 or 3 people, boom, break it down. And here's another video right there for you to go to see how to talk to sellers or homeowners in pre-foreclosure. Very important video as we come to the end of this pandemic and people with the forbearances that are ending, right? Because people are going to be losing their house. You better sharpen your skills to be able to talk to people that are going into foreclosure. You better do it. It's going to be important. So listen, that's 12. Please stay tuned to the channel. The question of the day is going to be something that I'm excited about doing this every day, staying in touch with you, challenging you, trying to raise you up, raise your literacy in real estate, right? So if you use the coupon code NOW, NOW, use that coupon code to get a discount on all my stuff, and that will be for 24 hours just because you watched to the end of this video. I've never done this before. I'm feeling giving today. I'm feeling giving. All right. So I'll put that coupon code in for you just for my true diehard round-uppers. Listen, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on the next video. Like this content, share with any other investors that are getting in the business. You best to know real estate. It's going to be crazy here soon. Kris Haskins, I'll see you later. Peace.